Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 2 of the Brainiac Trivia Top 10 in 10. My name is John Boyce, and I am the owner and primary writer and host for the Brainiac Trivia League in Middle Tennessee. What you are about to hear are my favorite top 10 questions from the week of November 22nd, 2021 in 10 minutes. Now keep in mind that doesn't mean the 10 hardest questions I asked this week. Most of the time it's just the 10 most entertaining, the ones that make me laugh the most, perhaps the most relevant. Seeing how this week was Thanksgiving, we'll have some Thanksgiving questions. Hope you enjoy.
Number 10.
Multiple choice to get us going here. In the early drafts of Back to the Future, the time machine was what? A bathtub, a refrigerator, or a skateboard? In the early drafts of Back to the Future, the time machine was what? The correct answer is a refrigerator, which completely changes so much about the movie. I'm glad they went with the old DeLorean.
Number 9.
History for this one. What famous explorer is credited for naming the Pacific Ocean? From the history category, what famous explorer is credited for naming the Pacific Ocean? That is Ferdinand Magellan. I wonder how many people this week got that one right simply because they could not name any other explorers.
Number 8.
Sports for this one. Going into the 2021 NFL season, what NFL franchise has the most regular season wins? We are talking all time on this one. Going into the 2021 NFL season, what NFL franchise has the most regular season wins? With 778, the Chicago Bears. Last night during Thanksgiving, they barely got a win over an abysmal Detroit Lions team.
Number 7.
Music for this one. I love this question. In the mid-1990s, what rapper was fined $10,000 for torching the mansion of her NFL star boyfriend, Andre Ricin? In the mid-1990s, what rapper was fined $10,000 for torching the mansion of her NFL star boyfriend, Andre Ricin? Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC. What I think is the most amazing thing about this question, she burned it to the ground, and it was only a $10,000 fine. That won't even buy you a new car.
Number 6.
Okay, clues and clips for this one, a two-parter. We're looking for a movie. The first part is your clue. This film takes place in Minnesota and takes place around the holidays. It did well enough to prompt a sequel a few years later with the two lead actors returning to their roles. The film has lots of comedy while also dealing with more serious topics like love, death, and money. So your clue on this one, this film takes place in Minnesota and takes place around the holidays. It did well enough to prompt a sequel a few years later with the two lead actors returning to their roles. The film has lots of comedy while also dealing with more serious topics like love, death, and money.
Sure, you were with the guys at the VFW.
Yeah, how was the turkey at the VFW this year?
The turkey this year was delicious.
Come on.
We saw you.
You were there half the night.
Fellas, there's some experiences in life too beautiful to try and put into words.
Wait a minute, you mean you and she?
I am not talking about sex.
Oh, I get it. Your old pal failed you, huh, Chuck?
Couldn't rise to the occasion.
The spirit was willing.
Yeah, but the flesh was,
Weak.
Yeah, from 1993, Grumpy Old Men. I put that in the top 10 in 10 for one reason alone. I love the audio clip. And in a bar, restaurant, that doesn't quite translate. People start talking and you lose a lot of the nuance to the dialogue there. So I had to put it in the top 10 in 10 just so somebody would get a chuckle out of it. But Grumpy Old Men is the right answer.
Number 5.
All right, 50-50 shot on this one. Fact or crap? All you got to do is say, is it a fact or is it crap? In 2018, an anonymous street artist in London sold one of his pieces for $1.4 million at auction, after which the painting passed through a hidden paper shredder inside the frame. In 2018, an anonymous street artist in London sold one of his pieces for $1.4 million at auction, at which time the painting passed through a hidden shredder inside the frame. That is a fact. Banksy is the alias. The artist is still unknown. There's a lot of theories about this, but I encourage you to go to YouTube and watch the video of it happening, because there is live video of it happening in real time. That is really fun to watch the reactions of everybody in the room.
Number 4.
We're going to go back to clues and clips for this one, so here we go. Released in the early 90s, this film starred one of the most recognizable comedians of all time. The film is centered around Thanksgiving break and shows a clash of two different cultures during the holidays. Released in the early 90s, this film starred one of the most recognizable comedians of the time. The film is centered around Thanksgiving break and shows a clash of two different cultures during the holiday. Here's your clip.
How about having my future son-in-law carve up this bird for us?
Oh, wait. There's something that I need to tell you guys. Carl and I were never actually really...
Sure about the wedding date. So we're gonna put things on hold for just a little bit and we'll see how things develop.
Oh, yeah, that's a hell of an idea. No use rushing into these things. All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Let's chow down here and munch on some grinding!
From the same year, 1993, Son-in-Law is the right answer. I was thinking the other day, why there's not really a Thanksgiving movie that I watch every year, and then I remembered Son-in-Law, so I think I'm going to make it a new tradition in my house. Every year at Thanksgiving, we watch Son-in-Law.
Number 3.
We'll go to geography for this one. What U.S. state is closest to Africa? What U.S. state is closest to Africa? This is one of those mind-bending questions. It's still over 3,000 miles away, but the closest U.S. state to Africa is actually Maine.
Number 2.
All right, our last two questions, number 2 and number 1, will be from Thanksgiving, because of course Thanksgiving was yesterday. What was the first video game character to have a balloon featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? What was the first video game character to have a balloon featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Sonic the Hedgehog. It was a pretty fast float.
Number 1.
All right, we're going to stick in Thanksgiving for our number 1 question of the week. The day after Thanksgiving has been given the nickname Black Friday and has become one of the biggest days of the year for retailers. Another industry also sees a 50% increase in business that same day, which they call Brown Friday. What industry is it? The day after Thanksgiving has been given the nickname Black Friday and has become one of the biggest days of the year for retailers. Another industry also sees a 50% increase in business that same day, which they call Brown Friday. What industry is it? That would be the plumbing industry, which I could give you reasoning behind that, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Episode number 2 in the books. Appreciate you guys listening. Bit of a disclaimer. All of these questions have been asked to the general public over the last week, and I promise they are highly scrutinized. With that said, there is some misinformation out there that from time to time will trip me up. So to the best of my knowledge, these questions are 100% accurate. I hope you and yours had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Looking forward to the Christmas season. We'll have some Christmas-themed trivia coming up in the near future. If you happen to be in the Middle Tennessee area, I would love for you to come out and play one of my games in person. Follow us on those socials. Even if you're not in our area and you're enjoying the podcast, give me a follow. I would appreciate that as well. This has been the Brainiac Trivia Top 10 in 10. I'm John Boyce.